Alright, quick backstory so that way you have a little bit of context. Over the past 2 years, I've actually had some pretty good success in terms of my career and finance goals. In fact, in January 2018, I got what I would consider to be my first big boy job. And by that, I basically just mean a job where I had a decent salary, good benefits, monthly bonuses, and a retirement plan. And another year after that, in January 2019, I got what I would consider to be an even better job where I had all of those same benefits, and on top of that, I basically doubled my salary. It was during this time that I really started thinking about my finance goals. You see, all the years prior to that, my main financial focus had just been trying to pay my way through college while I was working at a restaurant and spending some time as a computer tech. When I graduated and I got these better jobs in 2018 and 2019, it was really easy for me to just spend the money and be swept away by what was for me at the time a big boost in income. So about a year ago, I started thinking really hard about my financial goals and trying to organize them in a way that was going to allow me to save more money as well as make more money. Which brings us to today's video. To get started, I wanted a really simple way of analyzing my spending. So I decided to start with my monthly recurring expenses to see where I could cut costs, and this is how I did it. So I started with what I considered to be my required expenses. These were things I simply couldn't cut out of my budget. Things like my rent for my apartment, my utilities, my electricity bill, my internet bill, my car insurance, and my phone. I can't really function without these things. Also, I only wanted to focus on recurring monthly expenses where the price didn't fluctuate. That way, I would be able to get some really hard numbers on how much I was saving and how much I was spending. So groceries, gas, impulse Amazon purchases, and other miscellaneous spending. Yeah, those things do happen month to month, but because the prices fluctuate, I was going to leave them off the chopping block, at least for the time being. So once I removed those, I started taking a look at any of the memberships and subscription services that I had. And after going through my bank statements, I was kind of surprised. Here's a quick list. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, YouTube TV, YouTube Premium, Showtime, 2 gym memberships, 2 Blizzard accounts, Audible, Amazon Prime, and HBO Max. So aside from my 5 required expenses, which are my apartment rent, my electricity, my internet, my phone bill, and my car insurance, the only 2 other things that I really needed were just food and gas. And honestly, if I wanted to take a minimalist approach, I could have just cut all of my spending together on everything else. And when I saw the numbers here, trust me, I definitely thought about it. Now, luckily, I hadn't maintained all of these memberships over the course of an entire year, but the idea that at some point I was spending $300 a month and that could add up to over $3,600 a year totally surprised me. But I did actually enjoy and frequently use a lot of these subscription services that I was paying for. Okay, I mean, I get it. There are a ton of subscription services there, plus 2 gym memberships and 2 Blizzard accounts. Obviously, I could cut some things out. So I decided to make a criteria of what I would consider to be worth it. I had a few ideas on how to organize this, but I think simple is the most effective. So I ended up just going with how many days per week was I actually using these services. Anything that was going to be used more than 4 times a week could stay, and anything less than that, it just had to go. Reorganized by that metric, I realized I was really only utilizing about half of the services that I was paying for. So I just canceled the bottom half. Just by cutting down on all of my extra subscription services, I literally cut my spending in half. Monthly recurring expenses were reduced by 52%. I was now saving $158.10 per month, and totaled up over a year, I would be saving $1,897.10. Now, this is a big chunk of change for me, especially since all of that money that I was spending, essentially most of it feels wasted because I was paying for services that I wasn't even utilizing that much. Now, I get it. You're not all like me, and you're not going to be spending a crazy amount of money on monthly subscription services and random memberships. But I guarantee that if you look at your bank statements, you're probably going to see some spending like this. Maybe it's some unused or underused service that you haven't canceled yet. Maybe it's a gym membership that you're just not taking advantage of anymore. Or maybe it's some trial account that you set up and you really only wanted to do 7 days, but you forgot to cancel it and you got charged for it last month. Since I was so shocked about how much I was spending each month on subscription services, I was curious about how much the average American was spending. In fact, when I was doing this process, I came across an article on MarketWatch.com which revealed that the average American spends $237 per month on subscription services. Even if you can only cut $10 a month on spending, that's an extra $120 a year. And I know that if somebody was going to give me an extra $120 check at the end of the year, I definitely wouldn't turn it down. So why should we deny it to ourselves? $10 to $20 a month may seem like small amounts, but it definitely adds up in your expenses. However, if you let it, it can also add up in your savings. I encourage anyone who's interested in learning how to save money or just learning about their finances in general to start out with a really simple process like this. And most importantly, to just be looking at how you're spending your money. So I hope that was helpful. Please like and comment down below. It's gonna let me know if you want to see more content like this. And if you want to stay up to date, definitely subscribe. I'll see you all next time.